Alrighty, I've got a few numbers here, and I'm going to give you a rundown on basically how lithium-ion batteries play ball. You've all seen this one before. Um, so, in essence, I've been told that at about the first 5 charges, and this is like the first 5 charges, you should not dastardly flatten the battery, but wait till the device turns itself off. Then recharge fully. Don't half charge and turn it back on, recharge fully. And within about the first 5 charges, a lithium battery will gain its full potential. And you'll gain a bit more, maybe another 15-20%. This was told to me years ago, before I went up and saw Mr. Fairy Meadow, to be quite honest. This was told to me back in about 2013, early 2013. And I found this to be fairly correct with a few of the battery pack systems I have. Occasionally you get these real cheap, nasty bastards, and you get one good charge, and then they turn to shit by the second charge, and they're rubbish. But this watch, although it's cheap as shit, has sort of followed that path, but I deliberately tried to track everything from day one. And from the initial charge when I first bought it, over the last several charges. Now, first one, 15 hours. Second one, 15 and a half. I was rubbing my hands going, I might get to 16 here. The next one, 15.75. 15 and 3/4. You can kind of see your maths here. Some of you might pick about how it all is, sort of, but you know, these are sort of random enough. The next one, 16.75. The next one was bloody hot days, and I don't think the heat was doing it very good. We only got 14.25 out of that. Then I had quite a blooper. I left it sitting around for like 4 days or something. And I got a little bit of a feeling in that 4 days. I think I charged it, and then I sat it around for about 4 days. And we went from like 10:20 in the morning to about midnight. And, you know, you look at that, and that's like, what is it, 13 hours and 40 minutes or something. It was a bit of a flop. I think it has a bit of a standby drawer even when it's not turned on. Like as though there's some, you know, it's taken power for something. Whether it's a Bluetooth module that never turns off, whether it's the clock and it shouldn't take too much, but you don't know the way it's designed because it's going to be designed like shit with no real power-saving features because it's just a cheap piece of Chinese crap. The latest one, I got exactly 16 and a half hours out of it. So, in essence, 15, 15 and a half, 15 and 3/4, 16 and 3/4, hot day, 14 and a quarter. Sat around for several days before use, 13 hours and 40 minutes. And got a good charge on a cooler day, 16 and a half hours. We've basically come from 15 hours, and now the ballpark of use realistically is 16 to 16 and a half hours, and you might get really lucky and almost get 16 and 3/4, but it's not likely. But in the process, you've seen it sort of just step up like half an hour at a time, just bit by bit type thing. And this is it increasing in capacity from being new. As I was told back in 2013, that they will never be full capacity until after about 5 charges. And so now, you know, depending on use, we can sort of surmise that, you know, you get 16 to 16 and a half hours out of it. And, yeah, so that's basically something there I wanted to lay out to people who, you know, might be not aware of these things, that if you play the game right with these lithium batteries in their early days, you can actually stretch a better capacity out of it than you'll find on your first charge. And this is just something that's interesting to note, so that you might be a little bit hopeful of what you get the first time. You might say, well, shit, that's not quite as good as I wanted. Well, don't worry, it might actually get slightly better